Now this is what I'm talking about. This is a beautiful, beautiful 2025 Ram 3500 Laramie Sport Crew Cab 4-wheel drive long bed truck. Now, what you were looking at is exactly what a lot of people probably expect when they think of Ram heavy-duty trucks. And we're going to talk about this thing, but we're also going to talk about this place that we're at right now, because this is certainly not South Texas, and this is an area where some people may recognize. You may even recognize it by the airplane that's about to land above me right now. Let's go ahead and get to the video. Hang tight. I'll be right back. So I am in Detroit, Michigan, and I am actually here for a really special event being put on by Ram. I don't know a heck of a lot about it other than the fact that they flew me in specifically to be here for this event. While I'm here, they were kind enough to let me drive around this brand new 2025 Ram Dually 3500 heavy-duty pickup truck. And standard and highly modified for 2025 is this high output 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel straight six that produces 430 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to the new TorqueFlite HD 8-speed automatic transmission. Basically, that transmission that gives you some really nice efficient high gears, but some really powerful high torque granny low gears to get things moving quickly. And most people who have towed with these trucks can absolutely agree this is an absolute monster. And the one you're looking at in front of you actually is going to surprise a lot of people, because when we talked about the limited Longhorn edition that I recently reviewed, and everyone was like, man, that's a 3/4 ton truck and it only has, 1,900 plus pounds of payload capacity. Well, did they make a true heavy duty truck with a lot of payload capacity? And this is that truck. Let's quickly look at that, and then I'm going to talk to you about the price, which is going to be super important, especially if you watched that last video and you were a little underwhelmed by what you got for the price, which I thought that the truck was absolutely fantastic. But a lot of people said if you're going to spend $100,000 on a truck, that wouldn't specifically be the one that they bought. This might be the one that you buy for considerably less. So again, this is the Laramie Sport. So this is a high-level, high-trim package within the Ram lineup. This is not a base model. You get the full digital display. You get the Uconnect 12-inch screen over here instead of the 14-inch, so it doesn't go all the way down here, which I actually prefer this setup because I like the real buttons and the real gain control for your trailer brakes. I like the setup in here, and it's not too different, honestly, from a limited Longhorn, other than the fact that you don't have that super Western-themed interior. This is a black interior, and it's a gorgeous truck. But let's look at the payload. So this specific truck actually has a payload capacity of 5,409 pounds. So when you want to talk about payload capacity, this is a truck you want to look at. This truck has more than twice the amount of payload capacity as that Ram 2500 3/4 ton. This actually has 3,000 plus pounds, like 3,109 pounds more payload capacity than the 3/4 ton Ram that we looked at. And a feature that I really like about this truck is that it actually has power adjustable pedals as well. You adjust them from right here. So that's really nice. You can move the pedals in and out. Still doesn't have a power steering wheel column where you can adjust it up and down and telescope it in and out, but you can manually adjust it up and down. I do wish that they would provide a telescopic steering wheel with these trucks. I am still a big fan of the new mirrors that they use here, so this is a great setup. You still have the 360-degree camera system on here, so you got great visibility around the vehicle with the cameras, but it doesn't have some of the additional cameras that that limited Longhorn had, like the other two cameras, or the camera that was actually in the side of the mirror here. You still get the spotlights off of the back. This is a absolutely beautiful truck. You have fixed running boards versus the power deploying running boards, but you have the beautiful 17-inch Alcoa wheels on this truck. On this side, you can see this absolutely huge fender. But look at this. Prepped for Gooseneck fifth wheel, and it has the goose ball already in place, because this bad boy's done a lot of towing. Next to an airport, so I got a lot of airplanes flying over me right now. At the back of this truck, still have the soft opening tailgate. This is not a power tailgate, so it doesn't power motorize down and motorize up like on some vehicles. That's not something that's offered. They also don't offer any really fancy tailgate upgrades to this truck as well. It's a very well supported tailgate. It feels really light because they've done a great job with the torsion rod in there to really make the tailgate feel light and easy to handle. A lot of people appreciate that. Again, this has the goose ball already in place. This was actually one of the trucks that they used at Davis Dam when they were doing the media drive over there, and they were towing like a tremendous amount of weight with a goose ball. So this truck has some towing experience behind it. You can see it also has a spray and bed liner, and you also have a 115 volt 400 watt power supply back here. So this doesn't have that 2400 watt power system that you saw in the Laramie Longhorn trim, or sorry, the Limited Longhorn trim. And again, this truck is going to be a couple steps down in terms of overall features, but I do think that this is going to be the truck a lot of people would choose, at least people who watch my channel, because if you're looking for a super capable, beautiful dually truck with a tremendous amount of payload capacity, this is a truck. I like to say with a ton of payload capacity, but this has over 2 tons, almost 2.5 tons actually, or over 2.5 tons worth of payload capacity, which means you could take a lot of vehicles and actually put it in the back of this truck and it wouldn't exceed the actual payload capacity of this truck. To kind of put that into perspective, you could virtually take the Surveyor travel trailer that we have empty and set it on the back of this truck, and that's about what the payload capacity of this truck is. Now, even though there's no tailgate tech to help you get on the tailgate in the tailgate itself, you do have this nice corner step right here, which actually makes getting in the tailgate, or getting in the bed of this truck via the tailgate, really easy. Once the tailgate is down, you can just step up like that. It is a very easy process of hopping in this tailgate thanks to that corner step. I really like when trucks put that on. Another plane landing, and then when you're done, you simply kick it in and the step is virtually gone. Really nice. Now, the back here, some people may think this is a 3-inch opening. That is a 2.5-inch receiver. They do not put 3-inch receivers on Rams. They never have. I've confirmed this with Ram Engineering, and a lot of people who have actually sent me emails after they argued this fact with me, and then they said, oh yeah, I went out and I actually measured it, and it is a 2.5-inch opening. If you measure from the outside to the outside, it's going to be 3 inches, but we only talk about the inner width. We're not talking about the outer width. Now, in this configuration, a lot of people are going to wonder, what is the maximum towing capacity? So if you're towing a Gooseneck, you can actually go all the way up to 36,610 pounds properly configured towing something that big. So this has still a tremendous amount of towing capacity, well over what I think anybody would really want to hitch up to one of these, unless perhaps they're a hotshot driver and they're really looking to maximize or max out a load. Now, off of the conventional hitch, you're going to have up to 23,000 pounds worth of towing capacity. Again, more than probably anybody would really ever tow with one of these off of the bumper hitch, unless it's being used for maybe a commercial operation or maybe even a hot shot where you're, hauling construction equipment or something like that back there, and you have like a pintle off of the back. But in most cases, I don't think people are going to go up that high. To put that into context, that's like taking a DRV fifth wheel and turning it into a travel trailer and hanging it off of the back. So kind of keep that in mind. Now, from a suspension perspective, this truck is going to have a solid front axle up front. It's going to have coil sprung suspension with a fully boxed E-coated frame. And then on the back, you are going to have leaf springs. So you're going to have 4 leaf springs with this huge bottom overload leaf, and you can kind of see that from this angle. And then above it, you're going to have 2 thinner overload leaves as well. Again, fully boxed frame, E-coated, which is a really nice frame. This also has wheel well kind of protectors or liners inside of here. Basically, if you're going to be, towing hot shot or you're going through a lot of gravel, it hits this and it doesn't damage the actual painted material, so it doesn't begin to rust. Now, this truck does not have air suspension, but this is what your rear axle looks like. It is a beefy rear axle. And you're going to have all LED lights on this truck. Everything is LED. Your high beams, your low beams, your accents, your fog lights, everything is LED. I love the black grille, high gloss black grille with the beautiful chrome insert, parking sensors on the front and the back as well. And you got this incredibly large bulbous hood that really emphasizes the power this truck has. And it looks really good, to be honest with you. I mean, you got to admit, that's a sexy looking truck. Okay, so let's step inside, and pardon, I have my gear in here because I just loaded up, but we have really nice wood accents, really nice leather trim everywhere. You have your ability to control your spot mirror electronically, which I think is absolutely fantastic. That is not a feature that Ford or General Motors have on their trucks, and that really elevates this truck because those mirrors suck when you have to adjust them manually and get it back, out and in and get someone else to try to push the corners where you want. I love that they're power. You have power memory seats here as well, and of course, power windows, door locks, and all your normal controls. Plus, you also have your spotlights on the mirror so you can illuminate the side of the vehicle if you need to. You have your power seats right here. They do not have massage or any of those features built in, but they are fully power seats. And again, they are memory seats as well. You're going to have, again, all LED headlights are all controllable right here. You have your high center mount light, which points down off the back. Plus, you have your fog lights right there. Let's hop inside. Okay, now that we're inside, I can honestly say Ram makes some of the most comfortable seats in pickup trucks, honestly. And I think that is probably something a lot of people would agree with, just considering how many people use these for hotshot vehicles and are on the road for long periods of time and need a comfortable seat. So if they made terrible seats, that would be a big reason why people wouldn't buy these trucks for that type of work, but they do. Top glove box is open. All right, so again, we get the full screen up front. Let's go and start this bad boy up. You guys probably remember the interior of that Limited Longhorn if you watch most of my videos, and you can tell that this is very similar. Again, it doesn't have that whole Western kind of look to it where it has the browns and a lot of the color tones that make you feel like you're in Yellowstone, but this truck is probably more of what they would use in a series like that, because this is more of that luxury truck, but more practical luxury to a lot of folks. Like, it still has the big touchscreen, it's just not quite as big. It's about 2 inches shorter diagonally, or smaller diagonally, versus what that Limited had. But this is still a massive screen, and it works really well. It gives you a ton of features. You have a lot of visibility into what you're looking at. The maps, you can split things up, control of just about everything. They still give you your AC controls, which are manual buttons, and you also have control on here as well if you'd like. It has heated and ventilated seats, which are also really nice. Trailer brake controller. You have all your features here, which you can also get this with upfitter switches. So your upfitter switches would give you the ability to turn things on, like LED lights or extra things that you might have attached to the truck. Strobes, an air compressor, maybe a relay for that. This is a 4-wheel drive truck as well, so your 4-wheel drive controls are right here. It has a shifter in the actual steering column, which a lot of people can appreciate. Again, full digital display up here. You can cycle through the different screens as well. You have your little pocket up here, and you have your 12-volt socket up here as well, so you can plug in standard 12-volt accessories that you can't plug into a General Motors truck, be it Chevrolet or GMC, because they removed that. Has a standard rear view mirror, so there's no camera rear view mirror on here, but you do get your home link up here. Plus, you have a lot of your controls for your lighting. And one thing that's missing from this truck, which I love that is missing, is it does not have a sunroof. A lot of people love sunroofs. I personally don't, and this does not have a sunroof, so I can really appreciate this truck because of that. It's just one less thing to break, and sunroofs are typically one of those things that I tend to have problems with. Down here, you have a spot to wirelessly charge 2 phones, USB, USB-C, plus an auxiliary port. I mean, a lot of vehicles are removing these now. It's all Bluetooth or nothing. Now you can still plug in like a phone that might have a normal auxiliary cable or something else that you want to get sound into your system through an auxiliary port. You have your cup holders right here. This slides forward and back, so you have more storage under this area. You have your coin holders right here. I still believe Ram has the best center console setup of any vehicle or any pickup truck, pretty much any vehicle on the market. Lift this up, you got all of your measurements tables right here. Down here you got some more storage. You can even pop this up right there, and that kind of divides these 2 spaces, so whatever's up here doesn't slide back to here. Then you have another spot right here to throw all the stuff you access frequently. This is a beautiful center console. I love it. I am a huge fan of this, and I really appreciate that they haven't gone away from that. Let's look at the back real quick. All right, same color tones, same tones on the door. Beautiful door. The seat back here, again, this is going to look really similar to that Limited Longhorn I was in, except without the Western buckles and all that stuff. They have the CURT hitch back here ready. This is your Gooseball hitch, which as you saw is already installed in the truck. You have a really nice armrest that drops down with 2 cup holders that's flush. I love it when it's flush. And it kind of has a rubber texturized to it, which is really nice. Nice tall headrests back here. Right here, you're going to have a 400-watt AC power, plus 2 USB, 2 USB-Cs, a little pocket right here to slide your phone into or whatever you want to put in there, 2 cup holders, this really wide area right here that's designed to hold an iPad, which is really nice if you're entertaining the kiddos on a long trip, plus AC vents that work exceptionally well. They're pointed in the right direction, they're the right size, they have the right airflow, probably the best rear air conditioning vents in any pickup truck you can get. And then you can flip these seats up. This whole thing will flip out with a little little brace or support to make this a whole flat area, since they do have a raised transmission hump in the center. But once you flip this out, it makes this whole area nice and flat, so you can put things that need a flat area. You have some drink holders right here, and when you flip this out, they actually cut a hole in the flat section so you can still use your cup holders, which is kind of cool and interesting. Not sure why, but I'm sure somebody uses it. You flip these up, you have some really nice storage compartments in here as well. This is just a great setup, and you have those storage compartments on each side, plus some LED lights right here to help illuminate this space whenever the seats are actually in their flipped up position. What do you guys think though? This is an absolutely beautiful truck. Now for the price, I have it pulled up on my screen. $86,745, almost $15,000 less than that limited Longhorn that I showed you guys with under 2,000 pounds worth of cargo capacity. So that truck, believe it or not, is still incredibly capable, especially for hauling like utility trailers, flat trailers, boats, cargo trailers, things like that. But it is also a fully, totally teched out luxury truck. What you're looking at in front of you is a workhorse luxury truck that's significantly less expensive. Again, with this new 6.7 liter Cummins diesel, this is an absolute beast, and I think this is the truck that most people who watch my channel would say, yeah, I would spend that much money on this thing. Anyways, guys, I would love to get your opinion. What do you guys think of this truck? Is this the truck that you expect to see when you're looking at a heavy-duty pickup truck from Ram? Again, over 36,000 pounds worth of towing capacity, over 5,400 pounds worth of payload capacity, and this right here is set up in a very practical package that's going to appeal to a lot of folks looking for a heavy-duty truck that can get just about any job done. And whether or not you're a little worn out on the Ram styling, right, because it's kind of a body design that's been around for a long time, it's something Ford did with great success whenever they launched their previous body style of the Super Duty, right? That body style hung in there for well over a decade, I believe. And with this, it's still an absolutely gorgeous truck, because I have to admit to you, when I'm driving my 450 Platinum around and I see a new Ram on the road, I look at it and I always think they are great looking trucks. But the opinion that matters is your opinion. So drop a comment below. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. What do you think of the price? Roughly 86 grand for this truck. I would get this truck over the limited Longhorn truck in a second, because this is my style. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and we'll talk to you again very soon.